One of the things I haven't shared with you is how I got my name. And if you've got a minute, I'd love to share this story with you because it's one that I normally tell as a public speaker when I'm in those rooms and sharing that origin story. And I think that we all have a little bit of an origin story on where we came from or how we received our name. Whether you were named after a grandfather or named after a grandmother or named after a close friend or even named after something within a video game or a TV show, right? How did you get your name? And I'd love to share my story with you. And it's one that my mom told me many, many years ago. And I used to tell, and I still tell this story actually, in every setting that I have the opportunity to say it. And it goes like this. You know, my mom, as she recalls, was in that hospital room on that day that I was born, right? And as she looked across the room, she saw on the far wall a calendar. And on the bottom of the calendar were the first letter of every month. And calendars looked a little bit different in the 1970s, right? So she looked at this calendar and she saw that I was born in July. So she went July, August, September, October, November. Jason, there's your name. And I thought, this is a beautiful story on how I received my name. And I would tell this story everywhere I went because it was really something that attached to me and made me feel really special on how I got my name. And one day I was telling this story and my dad happened to be in the room and my dad said, well, Jason, who told you that story? I said, well, Mom told me that story. Right? And he goes, well, Jason, that's not exactly how you got your name. And I went, huh? What do you mean then? Right? And he says, well, Jason, you were delivered by a doctor wearing rubber boots under a tent while it rained outside. And I said, well, that's a different story. Right? And then he goes on to say that, you know, he really liked Greek mythology, right? We had two cats named Zeus and Hercules. My brother would be named Troy a couple years later. So the story of the calendar wasn't necessarily true. But it was a beautiful story. And I think it really spoke of a different time, right? In the 1970s when First Nations people still couldn't access medical care at hospitals. They were directed to zone hospitals, which were more of these tents or, you know, small buildings at the edge of towns or communities. So knowing that I came into this world under those conditions, right? But that I'm still here says a lot. Knowing that every obstacle or challenge that came my way in life and tried to knock me down, I got back up. Everything that came my way, as much as I saw them as those obstacles or challenges, through this healing journey, I'm now seeing them as the blessings I learned from and who helped me to see who I am and what I was able to learn from those experiences. So, Mom, thank you for that story, right? Sometimes we have to make things sound a little bit nicer than what they are. But the truth of the matter is, no matter what the condition is that's put in front of you, you will get yourself through it. I love you guys so much. Take care, and we'll talk again soon.